We all know that feeling, right? That tightening in your chest, the quiet whisper of, "What if?" that keeps you up at night. In our search for guidance, we often turn to the Bible's big commands, like, "Be holy." But what if its most repeated instruction isn't something to achieve, but something to release? What if it's a simple two-word key meant to turn our deepest dread into a quiet confidence? It is natural to guess the most repeated command might be, "Love the Lord your God," or "Love your neighbor," and you'd be close. These are the very heart of the faith, as Jesus himself taught. It's as if God knows that a heart gripped by fear struggles to truly love or be holy. So, he addresses the root of our trembling first, before we can even get to the loving part. So what is it? Echoing through the scriptures, from patriarchs to prophets, one command rises above all the rest: fear not. Now, you might have heard that it appears 365 times, one for every day of the year. While that might be more of a beautiful tradition than a hard fact, the sentiment is undeniable. Variations like, "Do not be afraid," and "be strong," and "courageous" are woven hundreds of times into the biblical story. More than nearly any other directive, it's a whisper from a loving father to his children, from Abraham all the way to you, saying, "I want you to be free from this anxiety." And this command is never given in tranquil, peaceful moments. It's a light for the storm. Think about it. When an angel appeared to Mary to tell her that her entire life was about to be turned upside down, his very first words were a gentle anchor: "Do not be afraid." When Joshua faced the impossible task of leading a nation after the legendary Moses, God didn't just offer encouragement, he gave a command in Joshua 1:9, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, for the Lord your God is with you." And on that storm-tossed sea, as his disciples were panicking for their lives, what did Jesus do? He first calmed their hearts by asking, "Why are you so afraid?" before he even calmed the waves. In every single instance, the command to fear not is inseparable from the promise, "I am with you." But wait, what about the call to fear God? It sounds like a total contradiction, doesn't it? But these are two entirely different postures of the heart. The fear we are told to release is the dread of our circumstances, the anxiety that paralyzes us and steals our joy. The fear of God, on the other hand, is a reverential awe. It's about being so captivated by his power, his love, and his majesty that all other fears, fear of failure, fear of the future, fear of what other people think, they all start to lose their power and shrink in comparison. Fearing God makes every other fear look small. So how do we actually apply this and hold on to this truth today in our own chaotic lives? We remember that, as 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear but of power and love and self-control." The anxiety we feel is not a gift from him. To practice fear not is to intentionally choose to trust his presence more than we trust our problems. It's learning to hear Isaiah 41:10 not as ancient text, but as a personal promise. "Fear not, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. I will help you." True, unshakable confidence isn't found in a life without problems, but in a life filled with his presence right in the middle of them. In a world that seems to run on anxiety, God's most consistent message is a gentle but firm command: fear not. This isn't a dismissal of our struggles. It's an invitation built on the unbreakable promise of his presence and his power. It is the secret to exchanging our dread for the quiet confidence that we are held, we are loved, and we are never, ever alone. If this message brought you some peace today, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. In what area of your life are you choosing to trust instead of fear? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.